Hi all my sweet friends. So today's video I wanted to share with you some of my favorite spring and summer foundations. Now springtime, it's still a little chilly, so I'm not really too worried about changing over to different foundations till I'm more in the humid climate. Where I live, it is super duper humid. You can get up to 100% humidity at some days. I live really close to the beach, so some days it's just literally impossible to keep any kind of foundation from not melting off of your face, but sometimes you just have to wear a little bit of makeup, or you just enjoy wearing a little makeup like myself. And these 5 foundations I found to be really beautiful in the summer. If you are new to my channel, my name is Charlie and I would love to have you stick around and subscribe. I do lifestyle, but primarily I love doing fashion for you guys and showing you bargains and things that I find. I like to be kind of like bougie on a budget, and things like that. I just love sharing anything that I find, anything that I think would entertain you guys or make you find something that is budget friendly, or that I think that would help improve maybe your everyday lifestyle or your everyday routines. I love sharing. I never like to keep anything a secret. I love sharing with my fellow girls on here, or guys, whoever is watching this. Primarily, I think it's women because I saw my things, and that makes me super duper happy to help any woman out there and keep empowering and helping women, because that's the most important thing to me, is making sure we support each other. So if you want to see the 5 foundations that I've been really getting into and loving for the summer, definitely keep watching. Now, in the wintertime, I do love a matte foundation. I love a matte foundation any time of the year. It's one of my favorites, but there's something about summer that makes me want to look glowy and youthful and dewy and all over healthy and just pretty. I love the way sunscreen looks, how it gives you that natural beautiful glow within. I love self-tanning all summer long. I do not naturally tan just because of cancer running in my family so heavily, so I stopped tanning in the sun without SPF years ago. I always try to do at least 50. So these foundations I love. I know it's unavoidable. Some people just don't want makeup at all, but I know sometimes it's unavoidable, or some women don't feel comfortable without wearing it. Whatever the case is, I think these are perfect. And I have a pretty decent, I have 3 high-end and 2 drugstore, and I can always come back and do this again, but these are just some of my favorites. Now, the newest one, this is what I have on today. I think it looks absolutely flawless and stunning. Now, I'm 34, so I'm thinking of incorporating more like age-related videos. I am, by no means do I feel old or young. I feel like I'm just right there in the middle. I don't feel 34, but I don't know what 34 is supposed to feel like. I feel the same as I always have, maybe just a little happier. So, and I guess that comes with being older and just not giving a shit. So the beauty about that is that I have just started to kind of play with my skincare and avoiding certain types of things, prevent aging, to prevent any type of wrinkles, whatever it is, hyperpigmentation I suffer with. And I'm trying to get my daughter, who is only 15, into skincare and enjoying taking care of herself. So the very first foundation that I think is amazing and beautiful is something that's been around for a while, but I definitely highly recommend it. And it's the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. It's color correcting, full coverage, anti-aging, hydrating serum, plus 50+ SPF. This is an amazing coverage. As you can see, my skin just looks natural and glowy, and I am very freckly, as you can see, which I don't mind my freckles. I'm starting to learn to love them, but this is beautiful. Now, this one's in neutral medium. I'm definitely going to have to get a different shade. This one is really dark, but this is perfect for when I'm at like my freshest tan, where I'm at my darkest, and this went on like a dream. Sometimes with dewy foundation, I have trouble with it sticking, but with the right primer and the right kind of powders, this looked absolutely stunning. It didn't move around, it dried very quickly, and if you have mature skin or dry skin, or you want to prevent aging, I think this one is absolutely perfect. There are a lot of benefits with the CC creams. You always hear people talking about them. Now, I'm just looking to see if there was any ingredients, but it doesn't say, but it says that it's to prevent skin cancer, to reapply every 2 hours. I wouldn't reapply this because it is a full coverage foundation. But if you wear a hat and you wear this, if you wanted to wear a little bit to the beach, I'm sure you could shear this down a little bit, but it was like 3 pumps and it covered my entire face. This was amazing. Now, the only downside is that it is heavily scented. However, the scent was completely gone in, I'm going to say 10 minutes. I didn't smell it anymore. So it didn't linger like some other products. I love this. I definitely recommend it. And for the price and how little you need to get the full coverage, this was amazing. I feel like my skin looks youthful and glowy. It didn't fall into any fine lines. It really went on fast. I mean, I used a sponge. You could definitely probably use a brush. I have never used a brush with it. I love this foundation. Definitely recommend. I'm so glad I pulled it out this week, and I think it's going to be one of my top favorites. And it looked so glowy and dewy on the skin. Love it. The next one I'm going to recommend that I had to play with just a little bit. It's not like my favorite, but it's definitely not something I wouldn't recommend, I should say. And it's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. This is a good foundation. This really, really is. I got the color 190. It's a little light when I'm tan, but this is very, very glowy. A lot of people like this. I think it is a little comparable to the CC cream as far as coverage. There's no smell to it that I noticed, maybe a little sunscreeny, but this is a nice foundation. One of my favorite all times is the original Fenty foundation. I think it's hands down one of the best color ranges, one of the best coverages. Wear time is perfect, and this one is really good. At first I didn't know how I felt about it because it moves around a little bit, so you have a lot of time to work with it, as well as this one. I noticed you have quite a bit of time to kind of finagle it and move around, and it doesn't like dry down too fast, but you don't want to play with it too much, because then I noticed that it kind of becomes a little patchy on my particular skin. Now, I don't have dry or oily skin. I kind of just have a neutral skin. What's the right word? I'm not combination. I just have kind of normal to a little teeny tiny oily in my T-zone. But this is a great foundation if you're mature or if you are looking for hydrating. I think it'd be good even on a young woman who just wants a little glow. So this is a good foundation, but I am somebody who is a die-hard fan for any Fenty product. I think that the color range alone is enough to make me like just super duper happy. And this is a great foundation. Something from the drugstore that is incredibly affordable and probably one of the best foundations out there, in my opinion, but I think a lot of people feel the same way. And it is the Maybelline Fit Me. Now they have a regular matte line, but I love picking up the dewy line. Now this is in the shade 130 Buff Beige. It's very, very dark for me. This is when I'm at like the peak of the summer and I've just been layering and I have had a little bit of natural coloring. This is a great foundation. I've never had issues with this, and the best part about this one, it's $6. I mean, you cannot beat that. That is incredible. I find this to be about medium coverage on me, definitely buildable, but it also could be just a sheer wash of color if you just need a little bit to cover some blemishes. I love this. I don't think it has a scent to it. No, there's no scent, which I love. The only thing is that if you're not careful, it will pour out. I also love any of the Fit Me line, the blushes, the concealer, but I also am a big age rewind concealer person. Maybelline is hands down one of my favorite. Maybelline and L'Oreal, I think, are truly, truly spectacular at the drugstore. I notice prices going up at the drugstore that are insane, but some of these tried and true are sticking with the really inexpensive and affordable. This is beautiful on the skin. I wore this the other day and loved it. It lasts the entire day. I'm someone who typically puts my makeup on, I'm going to say about 8 o'clock. I take my daughter to school around 7. I get home, I put my makeup on, I either run to work or whatever I'm doing, but I'm typically having my makeup on anywhere from 8 in the morning till about 6 o'clock at night. I like to try to take it off. That's like when I shower, unless I'm doing something, and this lasted the whole day. Now I'm excited to see how the lasting power on this, but I feel like it's going to be good, and this one is a good 6 to 8 hours. But this one is incredible. I'm sure everyone's tried this, and I recommend it highly for this summer. Now this foundation is something I also purchased at the sale for Sephora. I had never tried it, and it has gone in. I've used it probably for the last, I probably used it the last 4 months, and it's something that is going to be always, always in my collection. I'm definitely going to need a darker shade for the summer. This one's medium neutral, and it's the Tarte Amazonian Clay 16-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. Now this one is not dewy, but it's like the most incredible if you ever used Dream Matte Mousse like we all did in the early 2000s, it's that whipped consistency, but way better. It does have it's heavily scented, which I kind of wish it wasn't. It does linger a little bit, but nothing that has deterred me from wanting to use it. This blends like an absolute dream. I have never used a foundation like this. I've never put this on that I didn't love it, and I think it's going to be beautiful for this summer if I need to wear full coverage and something that's a little less dewy. So I think this is going to be amazing. I love it. It has done me really well all winter long, and I'm excited to see how it holds up all summer. I think it's going to be perfect. Definitely recommend this, and I love it. So let me know if you've used any of these so far and what you think. Last but not least, this is something that I can truly recommend. I have been using it for many years. I'm talking since the day it came out. I'm going to say it came out about 7 years ago. This is one of the best full coverage glowy foundations, and it is $10 at the drugstore. I love this, so let me show you. It is the Pro Glow from L'Oreal. I love this one, and I absolutely love the matte one, but for summer, this is one of the most blendable, most beautiful shade. It just looks gorgeous on the skin. It is truly glowy. I always set my foundation with powder. It's just personal preference, but I don't think you would even need to. I think this would be perfect for mature skin, for young women, for everyone. And I have the color 205 and 202. Like I said, I typically go for neutral tones. 202 is creamy neutral. 205 is natural beige. I love beige foundations. I feel like they just have that beautiful olivey undertone or like beigey undertone. This is radiant 24-hour. They say medium coverage and air light. I agree. I don't agree with it being medium coverage. I think it's full coverage. I love this for mixing. If I have a foundation that's a little too heavy or thick, like the Revlon Color Stay or the Marc Jacob one that's really heavy, or anything that's full coverage. Now, anything that's super full coverage like that, I love mixing this, but on its own, it is super duper stunning and equally as beautiful. I love this, and you can get coupons for this, but it's usually like $10 to $11. The packaging's sleek. I love that it's a squeezy tube, and one of these has lasted me so long. I feel like it's never ending. I'm constantly getting use out of it. I use this probably, I like to rotate my foundations. I don't stick with like one foundation, except this CC cream. I think this is something that I could get used to using every day. It's so beautiful, but I probably pick this up twice a week. I love it, and I wear makeup every day. It's just a personal thing. I personally absolutely love the look of makeup, and this is an amazing coverage. It looks beautiful on the skin. I have been using this, and I am somebody who can truly recommend this. I have repurchased this, my gosh, so many times I can't even keep count. This and the one in the red packaging that is matte, and I absolutely love it. Okay, you guys, so that is all of the foundations thus far that I have been absolutely loving for this coming into summer weather. We still haven't hit that warm peak yet. It's like it's early May, so we haven't quite got there yet, but it's absolutely beautiful today. So I thought I would film this for you, show you what I'm going to be using, show you what I've loved in the past. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. If you would love to see any videos that could help you, or you need anything, or you would like to recommend anything, definitely leave it down below. I hope you stick around and subscribe. Remember to follow me on my social media. I'll follow you back, and we can chat there or wherever you would like, and I will see all of my beautiful friends in the next video. Bye, guys.